Well, I've decided that my next fair fantasy fairy house is going to be a sandcastle. Plans are even to go down to the Gulf and maybe pick up some real little shells. But right now, after Memorial Weekend, it's just way too crowded down there. So, yeah, thinking about making a really fancy, hello, sandcastle. So, looking at pictures to get some ideas. Yeah. They all seem to have little towers. Ooh, look at this one. Oh, that's really pretty. I haven't really made any bricks. It could be made with cones. That's a good idea. That one right there. We'll keep that in mind. So, I guess just like any fantasy fairy house I'm wanting to make, I can just use my own imagination to make a sandcastle. Yeah. Not a whole lot of color in a sandcastle though. Basically, here's another one with steps and brick looking. Basically, just your sandy color. Maybe I should actually make my sandcastle like on a little island with they look like water around it, so that there can be actually some color. Or, I could put like a little palm tree or such next to it. That's an idea. Well, kind of like this. Well, I like them all. But yeah, I think I might do some palm trees. I actually have a silicone mold, not one that I made, one that you can do ice cubes or candy in. That is a palm tree, and I believe it's got a starfish. And oh, this is cute. I believe it has a starfish and a seahorse in it. But yeah, that's a cute idea. I could actually, even if I go down and pick up some real seashells from the Gulf, even like right there, that one right there, I could paint them to give them a little color. I may use a coating of glitter. Oh, look at that intricate one. And that's a real one. Somebody really made that out of sand. That's amazing. Amazing. Here's another one. Yeah. Anyway, I could put a little glitter over it to give it that glittery sun look. Look. Put some palm trees, maybe a little beach umbrella. And of course the very colorful flags are at the top of it. So, yes, this will be number 4, 5, 6. This will be fairy house number 7 that I'll be making. Fairy house number 7 will be a sandcastle. I have my basic frame set up now for the sandcastle fairy house. Doesn't look like much, but as you've seen from some of my other ones, they always start off looking like a junk pile and then they eventually shape up. I decided this time, instead of using almost all my masking tape like I have been doing, and plus this using the paper cups and all, they're kind of flimsy, that I'm going to go ahead and I'll probably put a coat of paper mache to hold it together a bit better, instead of just totally covering it in masking tape. I am going to still got the idea to make listen to a wave that's coming up, and of course some seashells and stuff around it. I did wind up cutting off some of the styrofoam. It was just way too big. Uh, so yeah, I cut some of it off, and boy, cutting styrofoam makes it snow all over the place. Maybe I ought to save that and use it for my sand. So anyway, I think this is all I'm doing for this evening, and maybe tomorrow evening I can cut my strips of newspaper and go ahead and do newspaper paper mache on it. I am going to put a flag right up here on the top, and not one on each of the towers. This is not a frost, this is a regular soda glass, so I made me a pattern out of a piece to try to get my windows close together. So I'll probably go ahead and maybe put some windows up here on it so the light can still shine up through it a bit, but it won't be defrosted, so that's okay. Anyway, I think I'm done for this evening doing it, and like I said, tomorrow after I get some paper mache and all on it, holding it together better, I will show you where I'm at. I've put the paper mache on the sandcastle fairy house to basically just kind of hold it together. Not really to cover it that well, but to hold it together instead of using the masking tape. And next I'm going to start putting my paper clay that I made on it to start doing more detail. I'm probably going to start the paper clay and do the bottom first and let that dry. But since I just lost my I lost one of my toothpicks down there. Tape it back, another one back in, because I don't think there's any getting it out now that I have it all paper mache. But anyway, using the styrofoam as the base, it's made it a lot more top heavy with the paper mache up on the top. So I think I'm going to cover the bottom in some of the paper clay and that'll give it a little more strength. After I go get another matchstick and put it back in my deal, that's where my flags are going to be. But yeah, get it a little more strength on the bottom so it's not so top heavy, and it'll make it easier when I get ready to put more detailing and stuff around my windows and doors, and this ocean wave that's going to be coming up to the sandcastle. I do think too, when I put the coating on my paper mache, I have some little metal brushes that'll probably work out pretty good to make little texture sand. Anyway, in my mind, I'm thinking it sounds like it'll be pretty good to do it. So go find another matchstick. I better keep my fingers off of them until I get some paper clay around them to help hold them in there better. So quit touching them so they won't fall. So anyway, continuing to work on the sandcastle fairy house. I pretty much, well, yes, I have got the paper clay on the bottom of the sandcastle fairy house, which has made it a lot more sturdier than just the styrofoam that I had used for the base. I actually put a little paper clay in there, and I came up on the side, but I wanted to show you the texture that I got in to make it kind of look like sand. So I'm going to do a little corner of you and show you what I did. I go ahead and I put the paper clay on, even with my finger in the way, if I can do this and hold the camera too. But I do want to kind of smooth it out, and which smoothing it out. I used water and smooth it out. But then once I have it nice and smooth, with the water, which most of my projects, that's what I'm looking for, is that nice smooth surface. But you know, sand has some texture in it. So this is an old dog wire slicker brush. So I come along with it and just go bing, 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 bing. And it puts that nice little punched, gritty, sandy looking texture in it. Yeah, so if you're doing anything sandy, use one of your old slicker brushes. This one still has a few cat hairs in it. It has seen better days, but I'm pretty sure it's brushed a lot of cats and dogs. And but smooth your clay first. I tried it when just putting the clay on nilly-willy, and there's just too many ripples in it when you do it like that, so you don't really get that good look of the texture, like it's sand on the beach that you're working with. So I'm going to get a little more clay on this. Now that I've got the bottom done, I can start moving my way up to the sandcastle. I found out really quick that the big dog brush is not going to work to put my textured sand, like I have on the side, up in all these little cracks and little areas on the actual castle itself. So luckily I have this handy dandy little brush that I had ordered a while back that I was using in with my crochet. So let's see how it does. We'll just pound around. It even has that little teeny one that would help you get right up next to the curves. Yes, I think it works just as good as the dog brush for putting that sandy looking texture in. Yay! Yay! I'm so happy I had it. And see, when I get up around these little crooks, which I wanted everything to look like sand, because it's a sand castle, so I want the texture will be all over it. I have also brought my shells over here too, because I'll need to start incorporating the shells down around in here. I did decide I'm going to just go with natural shells. I may put a little tint of paint on them, just because everything sandy color doesn't have a whole lot of color to it, you know. When I get up to the flags, I'll put a colored flag on it, but other than that, there's really no color to it at all. So yeah, I may just give them a little light dry brush of color on them, but I need them out to kind of decide where they're going to go. I also have another idea for some more texture when I get over here to this wave. You can see it, maybe see it better at that angle. The wave that's going to coming in on the sandcastle. I'm actually thinking about seeing if one of the cake decorating tools may work. You know, kind of go like that to make it look like the bubbly ends of how a wave comes in and the white end has that bubbly look to it. So yeah, when I get over there, I'll show you and see if I can squeeze with my orthopedic hands, squeeze this paper clay through one of those. I do see it looks like I've got that a little too much lined up, so we don't want it lined up looking. even with the dog brush, I found if I didn't go this away and that away and that away and this away, you had it look like almost lines, and I do want it very random. So yeah, that's a little tip. Get you one of these brushes if you need someplace to get some little texture. Pretty sure there's other kind of reiki type textures we might could get out of this too. But right now I just want it to be sand. Well, the sand castle is now out in my studio shop to be painted. I did not put any gesso on it because I actually was going for a rough sandy look to it, so I didn't need the gesso to smooth anything out on it. And plus, even though the paper clay is not bright white, it's more the sandy color white that I'm going to need. In fact, there's going to be very little color to it. My wave down here has got color to it, and I'll probably do the fish that are on it. I did get up under, I did go ahead and do the bottom of it in the nice bright blue to give it some color down there, and kind of used a little bit of metallic blues, green mixed together, and gave a touch of color to all the shells to kind of to help bring out the designs in the shells on them. So basically on the sandy part, this is a crab down here, so he'll get some color, and in these two palm trees I'll put some color on them. But basically the sandy part is just going to maybe need a little shading color in it to make it look more like the sand. And I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of glitter. Got them on sale quite a while ago, because you can tell by it's actually white glitter, because the bottle has turned a bit yellowish, but I'll put that, because sand does have that glittery look to it when the sun hits it. So that, and then up on the top on the flag post, I've chosen to go with an orange felt, but I won't put these on until after everything's painted. That'll probably be one of the last things that might even be bigger than what I want it to be. But yeah, I think I'll make them go the way that wave is going, for a little extra color. With the bright orange would make some color. Yeah, I think that's going to be too big. I'll have to cut that back down some. But all the little points have a flag on them. So anyway, I'm going to continue painting on it a little bit, see if I can get a little highlight coloring into it to make it look a little more lively and colorful. And I'll show you what I come up with. Actually, looking at this is almost a good color right here sitting on the table to kind of give it a little highlights in there along with the glitter. So not real sure. I think the crab will be a reddish color, and the fish, I don't know what color I want my fish. Maybe I might go ahead and use a metallic on them. Maybe make them like a metallic silver. So yeah, give it some flashy color, because sand frankly doesn't have a whole lot of color to it. So off to work. All right, the sandcastle. The sandcastle, the fairy house sandcastle. It's finally done. It's kind of giving me a little problems. When I was painting it, I actually, it kind of decided it wanted to jump off of the table. And as I went to catch it, I broke several, well, these two matchsticks that I had my flags on. So I had to use some hot glue, and I'm not good with that hot glue gun. It's hot. It burns my fingers trying to hold these things back together. So I came back with a little bright pink paint and touched up the flags. But it's finally done. It's got like 3 coats of sealer on it. I was going to do like shiny down here on the water, shiny sealer, and then just do matte because it is supposed to be sand after all. But when I got started, I just kept going, so it's all got the shiny sealer on it. We've got several real shells that I touched with a little paint because, you know, believe it or not, after all it's said and done, it is quite colorful. I was so worried that the sandcastle was just sand was not going to be very colorful as a fairy house, but yeah, it's colorful. We got the wave coming in, fixing to wash across it with the fish and the wave and the water and the little crab, and like I said, some natural shells that I just gave a little touch of color to, used some metallic on it. And I do, as I turn it on around, I do have some shells that I made, well, like the star up here, I made with mold, with a mold. Yeah, this one right here was made with a mold. Actually, a mold. I think it's one of those ice cube trays is what it is. But there it is, the fairy house sandcastle. Let me turn it kind of at this angle. It's kind of sitting on an angle, so you can see. I'll get back a little bit, give the full view of it. And there's the wave, the ocean wave. You can see on the way through. Hello on the other side there. I have decided, since it's so tall, and if you remember too, I used like frosty color. Up here it's clear, but these are frosty colored cups for the windows and all, because I don't know, for some reason my mind says they should be frosty colored cups, not clear to be out in the sand. But I've decided, instead of using one of the little battery operated, watch me break the flags again, one of the battery operated candles, signed, this is Fairy House number 7, in it, I'm going to use one of these fairy light little strings. These are the things that are supposed to put down in a bottle, and that's supposed to look like a cork and fits down into a bottle. Brought my tape out. I don't know how far I'm going to be able to wind them up in there, but let me try to get these fairy lights. I've got some tape. I'm going to see if I can get them taped up in there, and we'll see what that looks like. Well, even that wasn't too easy of a task. I can't get them all the way up into here like I was thinking, because this at the bottom was a milk jug, so it does have the top of the milk jug that was turned upside down, so that's as high as I could go. But I was able to kind of maneuver between using the ruler to poke and these to poke. I was able to maneuver the tape up as close to the top as possible. And let's see, let's turn it on. Yeah, they're pretty bright in there. Okay, and I guess maybe this will just be sit inside here to turn it on and off with. Okay, well, I'm going to turn the lights off now and set it up. Get out of the way so they don't all fall down. Hopefully we'll get a bit of a glow up through here, because that's quite a bit more light than what's on the little flickering. You can kind of see down in there. Okay, well, I'm going to turn the lights off and block some of the outside window so we can see how it looks with the little string of fairy lights going on inside it. But, okay, now it's a bit darker in here. So, yeah. Ow. Dark enough I can't see where I'm walking. Oh, yes, it does. It does give it a glow all the way up to the top. All right. So, fairy house, sandcastle. This is my 7th fairy house that I've made during the pandemic of 2020, the year from hell, I think we all have decided. But it's given me time to learn how to do some new things, such as using the paper clay to make fairy houses. Could have been a little thicker in there. So there you go. Let me get it up here. There you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. These fairy houses I will probably be taking out to the Saturday night auction house because they're just way too big to put in my eBay shop to mess with shipping them. So I'm mostly just doing them to learn something new, to learn a new craft and something to do during this pandemic when we're supposed to be staying at home. Yeah, right, like I've been staying at home much. But anyway, learn something new. Always like to learn something new. But do come by my eBay shop. It's SB55 shop, SHOPPE, over on eBay. You can actually type that in as a .com and it'll take you to the home page. There is some exciting new news at eBay and going on in my shop. You no longer have to sign up with PayPal to buy. eBay has started it where you can just use your credit card of choice and go right in and buy something. So my shop is now set up with that type of payment method. Make it easy peasy for you to come and shop. Would much appreciate it. Would much appreciate if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's always nice to have good friends out there, especially crafty friends that will join me in doing these craft projects and give me some comments on them and some ideas that you have that might help me, because I'm fixing to do some cement projects coming up too. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and like I said, please like my channel so YouTube won't cut me off because I don't have enough subscribers. Oh goodness, oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm wishing everybody a wonderfully blessed day, and stay safe. Go ahead and wear that face covering when you're out and about to keep you and everybody else safe. It's kind of our new way of doing things. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.